Hey guys, it's Jasmine. Today's card we're going to play with the PTI Sunshine Rainbow set and the Simon Says Step Happy Days set. We're going to use the cloud image from the Simon set. And we're going to do some ink blending on this card and some stamping to do some resist techniques with that cloud. And we're going to mask off the little face that you can see in the cloud. Here I'm just kind of placing everything where I want it in the final card, just so I have an idea where I want to put the stamped clouds. I'm going to use my phone to take a picture of where I want everything, just for a reference. And those clouds are die cut using one of the dies from the PTI set from Vellum with Stick It on the back. And I forgot to use my magnets. So bone folder comes in handy there. So here I'm just going to use some washi tape to coat the face so that I avoid getting ink on it. There you go. So I use VersaMark to stamp the clouds in. It's a clear sticky ink. And we're going to heat emboss using a sparkly clear embossing powder. And before I forget to mention it, I ran my piece of cardstock 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 through my die cut machine with the Wonky Stitches frame die. So we've heat embossed our 3 clouds, and I'm going to stamp this little bird 3 times, also using VersaMark and using the same embossing powder. And this is where you'll see the resist technique come in. And when you're heat embossing, you want to let your heat gun heat up for a good 60 seconds before you apply it to your paper, and that way you'll avoid warping as much as possible. So I started my ink blending using a clarity brush, which gives really soft effects, but I had 2 problems. One, the brush was a little bit dirty, so I got a little bit of a green cast, as you can see, and then it wasn't really laying down the ink as intensely as I wanted. So I ended up switching to an ink blending tool. I'm going to go ahead and put some music on so you can listen to that while I do the ink blending, and I'll catch back up with you in a minute. So now that we have our blended background done, I'm kind of playing with the placement of the clouds and the die cuts and where I want the stamped sentiments to be. So I've got those placed, and now I'm going to go back to my MISTI, because it can be kind of tricky to stamp over stamped images. This one does pretty good the first time out, but I do stamp it again just to make sure it's nice and clean and crisp. And here I'm stamping my Vellum cloud. And these stamps are brand new, so with clear stamps, when they're brand new, they're really sticky and like to pull things up. So you hear me kind of playing with the magnets to hold down that little piece of paper. But I get it to work. And then stamping over that impression right in the middle is a little bit tricky. So I end up re-stamping it 3 times. Just to make sure you can see it. And because there's 3 layers of ink on there, it takes a little bit to dry. Vellum is a non-porous paper, so ink doesn't soak into it like it does normal cardstock. And with this cloud, I cut off the other half, and I used it for a different card. So to cover up that cut edge, I just put the die cut over it. And there is stick it on the back of the die cut, but only part of it, and I didn't realize that when I put it on there. So that's me trying to peel off the release paper that isn't there. So when I do realize it, I just add some glossy accents, just some dots of glossy accents to the back, and press that down. Good to go. And then that little end on the B there, same thing, me not realizing there wasn't any adhesive on it. And I lost the dot over the eye in the rainbow, so I just use an embellishment to dot the eye. So I was kind of showing you how the ink is still wet, so I was trying to be careful with it and let it dry some more. So here I'm just using a tape runner on the back of some patterned paper. And I'm going to adhere that to my card front. And that is from Doodlebug Kraft in Color cardstock pack. And here I'm trying to figure out if I want it dead center or if I want to just leave the border around the left edge. And I decided I like that border. And here I'm using my custom stamp from Infinity Engravings with my blog address on it. And then just use some more tape runner to adhere the focal panel to the pattern paper and card base. So there's our second cloud. And then just use my bone folder to rub around the edges, trying to avoid the ink just in case it's not quite dry yet. So the embellishments I decided to add are from Pretty Pink Posh, and they are clear droplets in 6mm and 4mm, as well as sparkling clear sequins in 4mm. So I added those around, kind of figured out my placement, and that's, you can see I used one of the clear droplets as the dot over the eye for the rainbow, and I thought that was rather appropriate. It looks a little raindrop. And that's our card for today. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Comment, like, and subscribe on my video. That way you never miss anything. And there's some still shots for you to see the glitter in the die cuts and the embossing powder. And then here is where you can find me on Instagram, my blog, Pinterest, and Facebook. Have a great day. Bye-bye.